Good morning. So nice to see all of you. Welcome to the New American Congress. This week is the House is passing common sense jobs bills that provide an obvious bipartisan starting point, I think, for both parties. These measures would also provide President Obama a chance to begin the final years of his presidency by taking some steps to build a stronger economy. Unfortunately, the president's been taking steps toward more confrontation rather than bipartisan cooperation on jobs. Earlier in the week, literally as we were taking our oaths of office for this new Congress, the White House threatened to veto two of these bipartisan bills. And given the chance to start with a burst of bipartisan productivity, the president turned his back on the American people's priorities. Today, the president is in Phoenix, talking about the economy that we all know could be doing better. He won't be far from the Phoenix VA facility, the epicenter of the VA scandal, where dozens of veterans died while waiting for basic care. Last year, the House and Senate took some positive steps in the right direction, but the system is still broken and needs to be fundamentally transformed in a way that puts the needs of veterans before the needs of the bureaucracy. And we call on the president to offer a long-term vision for reforming the systemic problems at the VA. We've yet to see it. We've also yet to see an authorization for the use of military force to defeat our terrorist enemies from this White House. I've continued to remind the president that historically, the commander-in-chief has identified the need for the use of military force, written a new authorization for that force, sent it to the Hill, and typically also worked to build bipartisan support for such resolution. Once again, I would urge him to do so. If he does, Republicans will be ready to work with him to get it approved. And finally, the House will soon take action aimed at stopping the president's unilateral action when it comes to immigration. Republicans are in agreement that this is a gravely serious matter. And the president's unilateral actions were an affront to the rule of law and our system of government. American people don't support it, and as their representatives, cannot let it stand. I said we'd fight it tooth and nail when we had new majorities in the House and Senate, and I meant it. Yes.
Gas taxes are historically low, and the Highway Trust Fund is almost insolvent. Is this the right time to consider increasing the gas tax?
I've never voted to raise the gas tax. Funding a highway bill is critically important. It's a priority for this year. How we'll fund it, we're going to have to work our way through this.
Speaker, what's your timeline on the AUMF? How long are you willing to wait before getting something for the president, before you and Senator McConnell do it yourselves?
Well, I made it pretty clear last fall and again today that the White House typically will ask for the use of military force and write the resolution. And I would hope that the White House will move quickly.
What if they don't?
We'll see.
You said you never voted for an increase in the gas tax, but it doesn't sound like you're ruling out the possibility of including it in a tax reform deal.
I'll just say this. When the Democrats had total control of the Congress, they couldn't find the votes to raise the gas tax. It's doubtful that the votes are here to raise the gas tax again.
Combined with a decrease in the income tax like Senator Corker's proposed.
There are a lot of people with a lot of ideas. We've got to find a way to deal with America's crumbling infrastructure, and we need to do it in a long-term program that is, in fact, funded.
Mr. Speaker, you said immigration is a priority. It's a gravely serious matter, you said, but is this a wise time to be putting the budget of the Homeland Security Department at risk? The head of the department said it poses a real risk to have a continuing resolution without any certainty. Does he have any validity to his argument?
I don't believe that the funding of the department is, in fact, at risk. What is at risk is the rule of law and the sanctity of America's Constitution. The President has taken actions that are beyond the scope of his ability, and the Congress cannot just sit here and look the other way. we have to take action, and we will.
Imagine something like this happening after 9/11, though. Given the attacks yesterday in Paris, can you imagine the Homeland Security budget being up for debate a month after or a day after something like that happened here?
The issue isn't about funding the Department of Homeland Security. Members of Congress support funding the department. But you cannot continue to allow the president to go around the Congress and go around the law and take unilateral action like he has.
Mr. Speaker, you talked about these veto threats here. These seem to be holy grails for the Democrats. Obviously, the 40-hour work week, because that involves Obamacare and the Keystone here. That said, though, is that really obstruction by the Democrats? Because you've known for a long time where they are on those two issues. Those are near and dear to them, and you're not going to get, granted, you will get some Democrats to vote yes, but is that truly Democratic obstruction to start the Congress?
Well, the president, you know, at a minimum, he could have waited a few hours. Maybe could have waited a few days. We weren't even, we were taking our oath of office when they were issuing veto threats. Come on.
Speaker Boehner, about 25 members of your own conference voted against you. There's a lot of opposition from people like Sean Hannity, outside conservative influence. Why is there such fervent conservative opposition to your speakership?
Listen, I've given some thought to this, as you might imagine. The American people are very frustrated. They're frustrated in a struggling economy. They're frustrated that they don't think Washington's listening, and they want action. I talk to Americans every day, talk to my constituents every day. And this frustration that's out there, they need to take it out on somebody. They take it out on the president, take it out on me, and it just comes with the territory.
But you're one of the most conservative members over the last 20 years. Does it frustrate you?
During my years here, when I voted, I had the 8th most conservative voting record in the Congress. And it does pain me to be described as spineless or a squish. And I tell you what pains me the most is when they describe me as the establishment. Now, I'm the most anti-establishment speaker we've ever had. You know, who was the guy who got rid of earmarks? Me. Who's the guy who believes in regular order? Me. Who believes in allowing more members to participate in the process from both sides of the aisle? Me. I'm pretty comfortable in my own skin. And I'm going to do my best to show all of our members, Democrats and Republicans, and those members who voted against me, that I'm up to the job that I was given.
On immigration and the DHS bill, if it does not get 60 votes in the Senate, which doesn't seem like it will, some sort of bill that turns back Obama's executive action, will you never pass the DHS funding bill that doesn't include some sort of provision on that?
The House is going to work its will. And the way the process works is once the House works its will, the Senate will work its will. And then we have options. We can go to conference. We can take the Senate bill. A lot of options available to us. When we pass our bill, we'll see what the Senate can do with it, and then we'll act.
Mr. Speaker, will you allow an open rule on the Homeland Security bill to have free and open debate on this issue of immigration?
I don't know what the Rules Committee will decide, but I've got my doubts that it will be a truly open rule. But I do suspect that there will be amendments allowed.
Mr. Speaker, with respect to Mr. Scalise, you said yesterday that you know this man, you've defended him publicly. What do you say about his votes in the past against the creation of a Martin Luther King holiday, with the holiday right around the corner?
I'm not familiar with his votes in the past in any way, shape, or form. Yes, ma'am.
You talk about bills, the veto threats that came down while you were taking the oath of office. Has there been any effort by you or by the White House to have any conversations on any of these bills or any discussions that might reach an agreement both sides would be amenable to?
Well, as you know, the leaders, both parties, both houses, will be down at the White House next week to meet with the president. And I would imagine there would be some discussion about this.
Mr. Speaker, right after the Speaker's vote, Mr. West and Mr. Nugent were removed from the Rules Committee. Then yesterday, we were talking about having a family discussion to figure out what you were going to do. And we know that some of your allies and members want action taken, some don't. Have you made a decision on what you're going to do about this and how you're going to unify the conference going forward?
I have not. My focus is on the American people's priorities. We've got an economy that's improving a bit, but most Americans aren't seeing it. And so we're going to stay focused on the American people's priorities. This family conversation will continue, and we'll come to some resolution in the days and weeks ahead. Thanks.
Okay.